I would like to take this opportunity to thank you for visiting my channel. If you would like to receive additional information, please subscribe and follow me. Nia Jax. The need to deviate from her character in order to, after the event, send an emotional message to Triple H, the WWE, the recently crowned WWE Women's Championship, SummerSlam champion, had nothing but encouraging things to say about Jax. The chief content officer of the respective company attempted to challenge Bayley on successfully when SummerSlam was held in Cleveland on Saturday with a minimal amount of assistance from Tiffany Stratton. She was finished off by an unstoppable force. Returned by claiming victory in the WWE Women's Championship roughly 1 year after the last, a return to professional wrestling in the year. Post-show press conference for the SummerSlam event, Jax expressed how she felt after a certain event. Victory of monumental proportions in one of the most displays of the year. She felt absolutely wonderful. In addition, I am grateful to Triple H for permission for her to come back after more than a year. Upon being made available, it is rather beautiful. The fact that it was a year ago makes it extraordinary. Yet I'm in a different position than you are. An immense amount of gratitude to Triple H for putting your faith in me for more than just a year. When he employed me, it was 10 years ago, but before that has been a remarkable journey, and I'm grateful for it. Thankful for the chance to participate. According to Jax, between the hours of 13:55 and 14:12, Nia Jax worked a full-time job. Triple H made his return to WWE in the previous year. She was able to win the title of Queen of the Game ring, and she is now the new women's champion of WWE. Nia Jax, the champion, talked about how she became companions of Tiffany Stratton's pals, a single instance of an explanation of why Nia Jax is the new WWE champion. Tiffany Stratton is the reigning ladies champion. Cash in the bank account diverted attention, Theresa, sufficient to enable Jax to supply more than one power, in addition to 2 annihilators and explosives for the triumphant. But how did they come to be with each other? Whether she was on or off the TV, she was a newbie. In addition, it was her very first tour international. In Australia, it was important to me that she was able to might be fine and risk-free due to the fact that the moment we met, we knew we were meant to be together. Wonderfully adorable she is. She is also really talented, and she is like lightning in a ring. The ring itself, a bottle, it is extremely uncommon to come upon it in this location. Only 2.5 years in, she has already mastered it. Is athletic. She exudes an air of magnetic allure. And we check in on things like how many merchandise you have. Possibilities that we are able to provide for her upon seeing her. At that very moment, I felt a connection with her. In the video, Jax stated that the years 1714 to 1753, Nia Jax and Tiffany Stratton have been mentioned above. Consideration of the fact that it is an intriguing topic. Hold the WWE Women's Championship title. Both the championship and the latter have the potential to generate revenue. Her contract with the bank or her money at any time. It is her desire that Nia Jax's character be broken. Give Triple H a message that conveys your feelings. I was in a different position than before. Nia Jax, one of the most formidable powerhouses in WWE, had maintained its position as the preeminent force inside the Her ruthlessness was well known among ring fans. With her uncompromising strength and her aggressiveness, her capacity to completely humiliate any adversary who had the audacity to walk in her direction, but behind the persona was a woman who carried a fierce reputation, a heart that was heavy, a heart that carried the burden regarding the conflicts that were fought and the pressures that were applied, of living up to the legacy that she had left behind. In the WWE, an evening that was abnormally quiet, the commotion and activity at the performance center of daily training had decreased, and the total amount of was the booms that reverberated throughout them. The gentle hum of the air could be heard in the hallways. Conditioning, as well as the sporadic production of creep. The building is becoming more and more dark than Nia Jax sat by himself at one of the coaching sessions. It is her huge frame that is draped over the device. During the time that she was staring into the vacuum of the empty arena, a plethora of ideas passed through my head. Tonight, in her thoughts, she was not the one who was fearsome Nia Jax, but Lena manages to rescue the day. Mother, who had devoted her entire being to she was thinking about the business that she liked. Uncountable hours of instruction for the several workers, damage sustained, as well as the unyielding determination to demonstrate her worth in a society where only the most difficult, but there was one individual who managed to live, had served as a reliable source of direction throughout, as well as assistance throughout her journey. It's a Triple H. On the other hand, she referred to him as Hunter. It was clear that Hunter was more than just when it came to her, he had been a guide and a mentor, trusted confidant, and a friend in whom he had faith. Her capabilities, when others had doubts about her capability to do, he pushed her to the point of breaking, to break over obstacles, and to become a pioneer in. Tonight's industry is dominated by men alone. It's Cena experienced an intense urge to communicate her feelings, thankfulness, and feelings of thankfulness to the individual who had a tremendous influence on her professional life. She drew out her weapon while taking a big breath, phone, and began typing a message she was going to send. Halted frequently, attempting to locate the appropriate, suitable words to communicate her message. Impressions following what appeared to be forever, she finally pressed the submit button. Hey Hunter, I hope everything is going well for you. I've been here. Lately, I've been thinking a lot, and I felt there are some things that I need to share with you. I don't know how I managed to keep working so hard. Exterior. But in the evening, I just want to be inside. Honest with you, when I initially started working for WWE, I was this robust and powerful young lady who was anticipated to be nothing more than, in spite of the fact that I accepted that powerhouse function from my perspective, it was a different situation. And it took me a little while to comprehend it. Have no problems with it. I can recall the early days. Days of suffering with personal insecurity, and I am attempting to locate my area within this enormous cosmos, yet you were there showing me the way, encouraging me to own up to who I was and accept myself, to take care of my one-of-a-kind presence. You've always, with this ability to recognize potential individuals that they do not recognize inside themselves, you recognized it in me, and you cultivated it over time, granted me the chance to shine and demonstrate my worth, my own self, and to progress. I recall our lengthy conversations, your motivational speeches, and my own, the times you dragged me, as well as the bouts set aside in order to provide me with. Those times meant everything to me. Advice the world. There were other instances in which the bodily, as well as the mental toll that this enterprise took on. I've suffered more than my share of injuries, as well as obstacles, and there were brief instances when, despite my concerns, I continued on with my journey. You were always a constant reminder of my resilience. From the inside out, you were the one who taught me. Because being tough is not the only thing that matters in the ring, including but not limited to having the tenacity enough to triumph over. I reflect on some of the challenges I've faced in the past. I look forward to my favorite matchups and storylines. Consider the magnitude of the influence you've exerted on them. You have consistently advocated for the purpose of breaking norms and for innovation, creating moments that will be remembered. I was inspired to venture outside of my comfort zone, zone, and not to be afraid of new problems. And as a result of those problems, I've had to. Having the privilege of being a part of some extraordinary moments in the history of WWE Hunter. I really want you to understand that your faith in I have been one of the primary motivating factors. My path. You have been more than a support system. Merely a manager you served as a guide on. In addition to being a friend, motivation, and inspiration, I attribute a great deal of my development to, and success to the direction and assistance you provided. As I sit here and think about everything that went on, take into account how fortunate I am to have had you. For everything, I am grateful to you in my corner. Everything you've done for me because you have faith in me when I didn't have faith in myself and in my abilities, constantly encouraging me to improve myself. I really hope that I'm able to continue to bring you satisfaction with. Because of her thanks and respect, Lynn is able to placed her phone aside and pushed the submit button. Being filled with a sense of both relief, weak or vulnerable, her ability to do so was not simple. Be particularly upfront and honest about her emotions. She felt a weight lift off of her shoulders tonight. Shoulders, being aware of the fact that she had. Eventually, she conveyed her sincere gratitude to an individual who had been instrumental in the process. In her professional life the following morning as she entered the performance facility for the first time. Triple greeted me with a friendly smile when I arrived. The moment he got close to her, his eyes were filled with a combination of pride and devotion, with exclusions. He said to Lena while resting his hand on her shoulder blades, "Greetings. I have received your mail. For your kind words, you have developed a great deal. Because you entered this ring for the very first time. Moreover, I am overwhelmed with pride for the woman. In addition to the performer that you have become, this is only the beginning of things. Continue to exert yourself. Continue to develop, and never give up on your faith within yourself, the Jax, the ferocious and unyielding force that dominates.